Good morning, students. This is our last part of our video of economic chapter globalizations and the Indian economic. Okay, so today we will discuss from what is globalization. Okay, now globalization is the process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries, that is by greater foreign investment and greater foreign trade. Now, due to these two factors, that is greater foreign investment and greater foreign trade. Due to these two factors, there is an integration of market as well as productions center. Now, in the process of globalization, multinational companies are playing very major role. More and more goods and services, investments and technology are moving among the countries of the world. Now, how has this technology enabled globalization? So, that is the factor that have enabled globalization we will discuss. First is our technology. Now, until and unless you have sound technology, globalization is not possible. That is, you need a very sound technology. Now, let's say if I have my production center, distribution that is distributed throughout the world, but I do not have a good technology to transfer my production from one country to other country. It won't be of any use, right? So what is important is good technological skill that can be in the form of good infrastructure, transportation which allows easy movement of goods from one place to another, than information and communication technology in forms of, you can say, telecoms, computer, internet, that have proved the globalization. That is, these devices are used to connect one another around the world to access information instantly and to communicate from remote area. Okay, now, an example of this, you can say, of a news magazine which is published for reader in London, which is designed and printed in Delhi. Now, the text of the magazine is sent from the London through the internet to the Delhi office. Now, the designer present in the Delhi office get order from London. That is how to design the magazine. That is, they got order from the office of London. Now, using telecommunications facility, and after that printing is done, then the magazine are being sent to London. Clear? You have understood what is globalization. So let's move to other important terms, that is liberalizations. Now, you must be very clear that globalizations and liberalizations are not same. Now, liberalization means you are opening gateway of trade with other countries of the world. In simple terms, removing the barriers or restriction that is set earlier by the government in trades. Okay. Now, 1950s to 1960s, Indian economic was a kind of closed economy, you can say, where we did not were allowed that much of the foreign import to enter in the country. Only imports that was allowed was import of essential goods. Mainly it was of fertilizer or the petroleum. Now the basic motive was to protect and promote local farmers, local businessmen, workers and artisans. However, in the late 1991, to improve and to sustain, we need to interact globally. So many of the industries in India, they have started to move outside. Why? So that they can improve their performance and quality of goods and services. That's why government of India in 1991, what they have done, government had made some major changes in its trade policy, and this decision was being supported by the powerful international organization like the World Trade Organization, and this policy was the liberalization, that is removing the barriers or restrictions set earlier by the government in terms of the trade. Okay, now, so what we can see is that there was a decrease in the barriers on trade. tax on import was decreased. So as a result, what we see is economic was open up and more things were imported to market. Clear. So with liberalizations of trade, business are allowed to make decisions freely about what they wish to import or what they want to export. Now the government imposes less restriction than before and is therefore considered to be more liberal. Clear. Now next we will move on to the World Trade Organization that we know as WTO. Clear. Now uh, World Trade Organization, that is, it support free trade and liberalization, and it was started in 1955, having headquarters at Geneva, and it's having 164 members. Now, World Trade Organizations is an international organization which deal with the global rules of trade between nations. Now, its main function is to ensure that trade flow as smoothly, predictably, and as freely as it possible. Now, it supported the liberalizations of foreign trade and investment in India. Okay, now though World Trade Organization is supposed to allow free trade for all, actually it is found that the developed countries have unfairly implemented some trade barriers and forced the developing countries to remove these barriers. An example of this is the trade in agricultural product, which you can see in USA, that is agriculturists in USA, that is a farmer who are heavily subsidized by their government so that they can export product like wheat and cotton at very low price to the developing countries. Now those we can see is that competing with and adversely affecting the farmer in this country. Clear. Now the last is our the impact of globalization in India. Now as for the customer, if we will see from the point of view of that, it's beneficial to the customer. Why? As because they got greater opportunity to choose better quality, they can avail, so there is a greater competition in the market, and there is also decrease in the price. Okay, now, multinational companies have increased their investment in India in cell phone, automobiles, electronics, things, soft drink, fast foods, and services such as banking in the urban areas. Now, due to this, many new jobs have been created, and local companies supplying raw material and services to this industry have been prospered. Clear. Now, globalization brings in new and improved technology by which even the local companies were being benefited. Now, some large Indian companies like Tata, Asian Paint have emerged as multinational companies and set up their companies in the different other countries also. However, globalizations have got its negative impact also. Clear. Apart from the positive impact. Now, what was the negative impact that globalization has placed? That is, globalization and liberalizations have posed major challenge for the small producer and the workers. Right. Now, small manufacturers have been hit hard due to competition. Several of the units have shut down. The small units that all have been shut down due to the replacement of the new technology and all. Around 20 millions of workers are employed in small industry, if you will see in the rural area. Now, because of the growing competition, most employer these days prefer to employ worker flexibly. They are changing their workers. This means that workers have no secure job. This can be explained with the help of an example of 35 years old Shushila got a job after searching for 6 months. Now she is temporary workers. Now she did not get any benefit such as provident fund, medical allowance, bonus, etc. Clear. That is at the age of 35. If she has taken 6 months for searching the job, after that she is not getting any security. Now a day off from work, it means no wages. That is, if the workers has taken a day leave, that means without payment. Now, competitions among the garment exporter has allowed the multinational companies to make large profit, but workers are denied their fair shares of benefit throughout about by the globalization. Now, to make it more attractive to multinational company in India, government in recent year, what step it has taken is that in the recent year, the central and the state government in India are taking special step to attract foreign companies to invest in India. So, what step it has taken? That is, they have set up industrial zone that is called SEJ, that is Special Economic Zones. Clear, that is Special Economic Zones have world class facilities like that we can say of electricity, water, roads, transport, storage, recreation, educational facility. Clear. Now, companies who set up a production unit in the special economic zones do not have to pay taxes for an initial period of 5 years. Even government has allowed the flexibility in the labor laws to attract foreign investment. Now, the companies in the organized sector have to obey certain rules that aims to protect the worker rights. The government has allowed the companies to ignore any of these. Okay. Now, so what is the aims? We can say. So, what we understand from this chapter is that what we understand, children, that to provide fair globalizations, its aim is to provide fair globalizations, opportunity for all, that is for the developed and the developing nation. Okay, and to implement proper labor law and to support small producer to improve their performance till the time they can become strong enough to compete. Clear? So children, out here we complete our syllabus for the of economic for a board exam. So must go through it. So today we complete our this chapter also. If any doubt, you could ask me, but you must have to go through your textbook. Clear? So till then, take care. Thank you.